on this guy. Okay, Eddie, I'm gonna get my water, and
Thank you, Stephanie.
you're very welcome. I have no idea.
How's everybody doing tonight?
Great.
Excellent. My name's Eddie Rodriguez. Okay, I'm a happiness ambassador. I'm a de-stressologist, and I'm an all-around excitable guy. I get very, very excited when I talk, so bear with me, okay? So, who here knows about stress? Anybody? I know you guys probably don't know yourselves, but you might know somebody who has a little stress in their life, right? Okay, what are some of the things we stress about?
Everything.
Everything. That's a good point. Everything. Kids. Money. What else?
Like just the lifestyle you're living.
Lifestyle you live in.
Pain.
Fame.
No,
What-
pain.
Oh, pain.
Pain.
Pain and fame.
Oh, okay.
Okay? Some people stress about fame. Right?
Traffic.
What about politics?
Yeah.
Anybody stress about politics?
No. Oh,
Okay.
no.
Like, you know that all of these...
No,
never, right?
No politics.
I'm not going to do politics. I'm not going to do politics. But what I'm saying is there's a lot of things out there in the world that we stress about. Now, does anybody here know what the word responsibility is? Okay, tell me what the word responsibility means to you. What does it mean to you?
It means taking accountability for my thoughts and my actions.
Okay.
Being responsible to myself first.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess maybe not to use the word responsible, being active oriented toward myself first before I can give or share with others.
Excellent. That's excellent. Anybody else? Can I give you my definition of responsibility? Responsibility is response to your abilities. Now, what does response to your abilities have to do with stress? When we all stress, who is responsible for our stress?
Ourselves. Ourselves.
No outside factors.
Just you.
Right.
Just
Ourselves.
you. We are responsible. So what do we do to respond to that with the best of our abilities? Well, we start to learn, don't we? It all starts with the mind, right? No. It starts with the heart. It starts inside the heart. What do you feel? What do you know? What can you capture inside of your heart and bring it to the mind and change the mindset? Because responsibility is a mindset, isn't it? We all have a different definition of it. And we all think that you need to be responsible for this. And we look at other people to be responsible for their things, right? Does that stress us out when other people aren't responsible for their things? I know I get stressed out about that. We have to be responsible to our own things. We have to take stress and turn it into creative happiness intelligence. Now, what is creative happiness intelligence? Does anybody know what creative happiness intelligence means? No?
Chi.
What's that?
Chi.
It's chi, yes.
Chi.
Energy.
It's energy. It's creating something in your life where you can open yourself up to your creativeness and using that creativeness for the good, becoming happier, becoming more responsible for yourself and your actions, and not worry or stress about what other people are doing. You just do the right things, and the right things are going to happen for you. I'm sure you've all heard this. It all starts on the inside, right? And it really does. Now, one of the things that I learned is just what that means to me and how I can use that in my life. And that's one of the things is that this book, I'm not a writer. I didn't know anything about writing. And I had no intention of writing this book. Now, would anybody like to know where this book came from? What I did in order to be able to write a book? Well, I did a little thing. You know, it's not much. I walked from, anybody know Deerfield Beach?
Yes.
Yeah, Yeah, I walked from Deerfield Beach to Manhattan, New York.
Wow.
It took a couple of days. You know,
How many pairs of shoes do you go through, Eddie?
I only went through 2.
Wow.
2 pairs of shoes. Now, let me ask you a question. Do you think there's any stress involved in walking to New York? A little bit, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
How about if you start with $200
Wow.
and you have no plan as to what you're gonna do, where you're gonna sleep, where you're gonna eat, and every single day you wake up and go, oh, what's today gonna bring?
Wow.
There was absolutely no plan. Now, is planning a good thing? Yes, it is. It can be phenomenal. But do you want to really plan out every moment of your day? Or do you want to allow for things to come in and use that creative happiness intelligence to be able to make your life absolutely phenomenal? And I mean phenomenal. Now, walking to New York is a great goal. Now, I didn't have a goal of walking to New York. I had a goal of walking to Washington, D.C. And I just happened to end up in New York. How does that happen? You just allow the world to bring whatever it is to you and not put any expectations on it. And you can go so much further. And how do you think that helps you with your stress? If you don't put expectations into your life, how do you stress? You really don't. But the thing is that how do you have no expectations? Take the responsibility to have no expectations. Work on it every single day. You want to kick stress? Does anybody here want to kick stress? I don't. I really don't. You know why? I love stress. Why do I love stress? Not because I'm stressed about it, but because of what stress will teach me. Okay, everybody thinks stress is a negative thing, it's a bad thing, you don't want to have stress. Stress is really just an indicator light. It's like the indicator light in your car. When it goes off and you see that change oil, what does that mean? Change your oil. You know, when it says check engine, what do? You check engine. Or some people don't. They just let it go. What happens?
Break down.
Car blows up. You know, when the car blows up, what do? They go, oh my God, why did the car blow up? I don't understand this. Stress is just an indicator light. It's there to let you know that something's going on. So don't try and get away from stress, because guess what? Stress is going to chase you. It's going to come looking for you, and it's going to go, hey, Eddie, where you at, man? I want to get you. Now, I got to tell you something. I have had a lot of things in my life that I could stress over. Okay? Would everybody put their hand up like this? Okay, like if you're on the phone. Okay? This is my doctor calling me. Mr. Rodriguez, this is Dr. Machin. You have stage 4 colon cancer. Is that a call you want to get? Don't doctors normally bring you into their office, sit you down and say, Mr. Rodriguez, I am so sad to tell you this, but you have stage 4 colon cancer. This is what we can do. Well, you know what my doctor told me? He said, I told you on the phone because I know you can handle it. Because she knows me. And she knows that stress is not going to get me. Because I have learned how to de-stress. It's not that stress doesn't happen in my life. It does every single day. Okay? Today, for instance, I'm there, I'm working on some things, and then, oh, wow, I got a meeting. I got to go. I'm speaker. I got to be there on time. So I run into my closet, and I grab my shirt, and I pull it out. I put it on. I drive here, and I go, well, it's wrinkled. Okay, am I going to stress about that? No. I'm gonna put it in my speech. So what? So my shirt is wrinkled. Big deal. I just got a good laugh. That's awesome, right? Because if I allowed it to get me, if I allowed it to go into my life and go, hey, Eddie, get stressed about this, I wouldn't be able to talk up here. I'd be like, and I'd be thinking that everybody's looking at my shirt. Instead, I'm going, God, I hope everybody's looking at my shirt. Because it's nice, it's good, it's different. That's the thing about stress. Why do what everybody else does? Why go through all of the emotions of getting stressed out? Your heart starts racing, your health goes bad, you wind up in the hospital? Is that a good thing? I don't think so. But it's something that you can avoid. It's something that you can take, and you can take that stress and turn it into something good for yourself. I gotta tell you, I have done amazing things with stress. As Stephanie knows, I've been through a lot of challenges.
Tell them some, Eddie, because
Just a couple, right?
yeah, Eddie is an anomaly. He really is, and he's here for a purpose. Eddie is here for a purpose.
Oh, I am.
And God has sent guardian angels over Eddie. Share your story, Eddie, because it.
Which one?
Well, you could tell quickly.
I'll tell 2006. Okay. Stephanie, could you do me a favor, please?
Yep.
A little bit of water.
Sure.
Thank you.
Oh,
Okay.
thank you.
2006. How was that year? I tell you, it was a beautiful year for me. It was amazing. Life was fantastic. Family was good. Relationships were good. Me and my wife are getting along famously. Business just blew up. I mean, everything was going great. I brought my cousin into my business to run my business for me, and I was one step away to become a motivational speaker. Well, I found out later, I don't want to be a motivational speaker. I want to be an inspirational speaker because I want to inspire people to inspire themselves. You motivate somebody, it doesn't last very long. Anyway, I'm getting off subject. So,
No. Alkaline water.
yes, pleast.
Oh, you just.
Stage 4.
I know.
Alkaline water.
I almost had a big one.
Oh, Martha, it's the big one. It's the big one. So anyway, 2006 was, oh man, I tell you, things were rocking. And then all of a sudden, I found out that the guy that I brought in to run my business took me for a lot of money. A lot of money. So anyway, I had to jump in and start rebuilding my business and fend off the IRS because he didn't pay the IRS, he didn't pay my guys, he didn't pay anything, he didn't pay my suppliers. And I was off, building my motivational speaking business. I didn't know anything about it. So does stress jump into my life? Yeah, big time. So I jump back in the business and I recover all that money in 5 months.
Wow.
Not bad, right?
Yeah.
That's pretty good. You didn't take that, that's like companies crashing and burning it, bring it back up. Well, as I'm bringing the business back to black, get a phone call from Korea. My son-in-law's in the army in Korea, and my daughter's with him there. Now, my daughter shouldn't be there because she has lupus. And Korea's way too hot and way too cold for her. So he gave us the news that they had just been in a moped accident. Yeah. And my daughter was in the hospital in critical condition. She spent 45 days in the hospital and then passed away. This is in a 5-month period. It's a lot of stress, isn't it? Guess what? 2006 isn't over yet. There's still a little bit of time left. As we're dealing with these things, and there was a lot to deal with, 4 months after my daughter passed away, I had a cerebral hemorrhage. I had 3 veins burst in the back of my brain and filled my brain with blood. The doctors told my ex-wife, now let me not call her my ex-wife, my wife at the time. She's a wonderful woman, by the way. An absolutely amazing woman. I love her to death to this day. But the doctors told her, call the family, he's dead tonight. So my family came. They came to visit me. Isn't that nice? Isn't that awesome? Family comes and they're like, wow, Eddie, you don't look like you're gonna die. You know? And I told the doctors, I couldn't really speak. I could slur, but I couldn't really speak. And I says, don't you tell my family what I'm going to do. So next week I get the test results, see if I died. Keep your fingers crossed. It's a joke. If you can't joke about these things, what can you do? When you go through situations, find the best in the situation. Life gives us packages, right? Gives us packages every single day. Sometimes those packages are ugly. You don't want to open them up. You just get away from them and you don't want to see it. Guess what? If you open those packages, inside are the gifts that you can receive. Take the responsibility. Open those packages. See what's inside. How is it going to help you? What can you pull out of this? Out of the tragedies in your life, out of the stress in your life? What can you pull out to make your life better? There's so many things. And I told you about my daughter. Do you mind if I share a story about how that has affected the rest of my life? A year after my daughter passed away and I had my hemorrhage, I was at VA hospital. And my wife asked me a question. She said, Eddie, what do you want for your birthday? Has anybody ever been asked that question? Right? It's an easy one to answer usually. It's like, hey, Ferrari. I'm kidding. I couldn't think of anything. I could not think of one thing that I wanted for my birthday until I thought, you know what? I want people to get along for one day. That's it, one day. Everybody get along for one day. Can you make that happen? No. Unfortunately, you can't. But what you can do is you can get as many people as you can do to smile. And that's how I started my Smile Project. That's how I learned how to de-stress myself. How to take the situations that I was in, transform them into something beautiful. Into something that's not only going to help me, but it's going to help other people too. And it's something that I would love for it to go across the world and for people to catch on. Smiles are contagious, right? Okay? Go infect everybody with your smile, because your smile will transform people's lives. It will help you to de-stress. Is anybody learning anything here so far? Yeah? Would you like to learn something else? The power of laughter. Now, I'm going to do something. I'm not going to tell you what I'm going to do. I just want you guys to just follow along. Is everybody willing to play? Stephanie told me you were a really fun group. Are you a fun group?
So fun.
Let me hear it. Come on. Are you a fun group?
Yes.
Oh, that was lame. Come on. Let me hear it. Are you a fun group?
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that. Yes.
Having fun, aren't you?
That wasn't it. No, I'm kidding. That was it. Power of laughter. How did that feel? Does that feel good? Feels a little healing, doesn't it? It's good to get a laugh in. And do you know what cured me of my cerebral hemorrhage? Laughter. I use laughter to de-stress, to build my life, to get something good from it. Now, if I can share with you a little bit about what it was like to have that cerebral hemorrhage. It's like, when I got out of the hospital, I spent 2 weeks in the hospital. I spent 1 week in intensive care, and then I went to a regular room. Then they let me out. I had the worst headache of my life. I'd never had, anybody had a migraine before? Right? Take that and times it times 10. That's what my head felt like. I could not lay down in a bed. I had to sleep in a lazy boy because I couldn't lay down. 4 months I was sleeping on a lazy boy. 6 months to learn how to walk, 6 months to learn how to talk. It was hard for me to do anything. When somebody walked up to me and they said, Eddie, we're going out. Do you want to come with us? I would see their lips moving. I couldn't hear anything. Imagine that. You see the lips, but there's no sound. Then what seems like 10 minutes later, the sound comes in. I know it was only a few moments, but it seems like a lot of time. The sound comes in and the sound is like muffled. You can't understand it. And then a moment later, you understand what they're saying. And then you want to respond. Yeah, I want to go! But what you end up doing is going, yeah, I really would love to go with you. There's not much there. But you know what was there? The ability to turn that around. Yeah. All I had to do was open that gift. All I had to do was open that package. All I had to do was take responsibility for me. Just for me. I didn't have to be responsible for anybody else. They did their own things. And so what I did was I started the laughter. I started watching everything that I could watch. I couldn't read, so I had people read me funny stories, jokes, anything I could do to laugh. Now, do you think laughter can help you with your stress? It is a huge part of de-stressology. Taking laughter and turning it into something beautiful, because when you laugh, you can laugh with intention. And what if you don't feel like laughing? Well, let me ask you something. Did you feel like laughing when I started laughing? No. You just did it, right? You just did it. That's all that you have to do. Now, there's times that you're out there and you can't laugh because, you're stressed. Somebody's yelling at you, doing things like this. And you can't really laugh, but what you can do, you can laugh inside. You could look at them and just listen to everything that they're saying. Inside, you're going, wow, look at the way their mouth is moving when they're yelling. Oh my God, that's funny. You don't want to do it out loud. You don't want to be rude to anybody. But can't you think about that rather than let them yell about whatever they want to yell about? Do you have to respond to it? I have been asked to get into a ton of fights in my life. But the thing is that I don't have to get into every fight that everybody invites me to. Right? So I don't. I choose what to do. I choose how to react. I take that responsibility of it. I respond to my abilities to be able to get around it. Now, what about fear? Does fear factor into stress? Think so?
I'd say so.
Yeah. Now, everybody knows what they say. What does fear mean? What does it stand for?
False evidence appearing real.
False evidence appearing real.
It's not something new.
Yeah. Do you know what mine is? As you can tell, I'm different than everybody else, right? I'm a little wacko. That's okay, I love that, I love it, it's okay. So mine is false emotions altering reality.
Good one, Ed.
Thank you. So when I started thinking, because everybody was, false emotions appearing real, I was like, yeah, but that just doesn't work for me. I'm an emotional guy. I love emotion. It's like I thrive on it. And we're all really emotional people, aren't we? We all have our buttons. If there's anybody that you see that doesn't have a button, run. Okay? Run. I know I've got my buttons. It's none of us are perfect. I get stressed like everybody else, but I know how to reduce it. And I know how to take it and turn it into a gift. Use your emotion to really enhance your life. If there's something that you love and you're very emotional about it, why is it that you stay away from it? A lot of people do, don't they? I don't have time for that. Because that's emotional. I've got to stay focused. Will that stress you out? Just always being on point? Allow yourself to get on point. It's part of the gift. It's part of life. Now, does anybody know about the space shuttle? You ever heard of that? One or two of you? You ever heard about the space shuttle? Now, when the space shuttle, when they used to launch that thing, they were going to the moon, right? Taking an orbit around the moon. How long do you think that the space shuttle was actually on track to get to the moon in a straight line? Anybody want to guess?
Never.
Never. Okay, that's a good one. Anybody else?
15 seconds.
15 seconds. Okay.
Just from takeoff.
Actually, 2% of the time. What was the rest of it? Checks and balances. Okay, don't we do that with our lives? Right? We're heading in this direction. Oh, phenomenal! I'm getting there. And then boom! We hit a wall. Or we get off track. Is that a bad thing? Not really. What does that mean? Stop and breathe. Stop for a second. Maybe you're going too fast and you're going to miss the point. So life is saying, hey, stop here. Pay attention. Right? What do you pay attention to? Whatever the heck you want for that moment. It doesn't have to be about the project that you're doing. It doesn't have to be about the business that you're in. All it is stop, have a little fun. Change the mood, shift it. And who was it that was talking about Einstein? Phenomenal man.
Yes.
Yeah. Einstein had amazing quotes, did amazing things. And I'll tell you what, the man, everybody was like, he's a nut. Right? He's a nut. But wasn't that a good thing?
Mm-hmm.
Do you think he was on track with his scientific things all the time? No. How would he come up with all those quotes if that's all he ever thought about was science? Can't do it. You can't live your life focused in on one little thing, because then you lose the rest of life. Okay? You lose the rest of life. Because if I say, focus on my hand, and everybody looks at my hand, and something happens over there, you're never going to know about it. Because this is what you're always focusing on, right here. So what I can tell you is, if there comes a point where you lose your focus, you run into a wall, all that is what? An indicator light. You start to stress about something, that's what? An indicator light. Start learning what it means, what the indicator light means. And it's something different for all of us. Everybody says, Eddie, what modality do you use? And I say, whatever comes to mind at the moment. What? You don't have a certain modality that you use? Well, guess what? Everybody's different. If I only have one modality, how's that going to work? I've got so many people that I can't help. Now, can I help everybody? Of course not. I'm just one guy. Not everybody can relate to me. So many people tell me, Eddie, you're too over the top for me. You're too excitable. I was like, okay, good. Fine. I'll help you find whoever it is that fits with you. Because isn't that what we're supposed to do? By helping them, you're helping yourself. Do you think that works in life? Helping other people? Now, how much do you think that breaks your stress?
A lot.
That's right.
Take forward.
There's things in my life that I can't do for myself. Okay? David and Stephanie. When they found out I had stage 4 cancer, guess what they did? They jumped in, both feet. Okay? Now, I weighed about 50 pounds more than I do now. Yeah, when I got diagnosed. Anybody here know about blood sugar? Yeah? My numbers, taking metformin, which these are diabetic medicines, metformin, insulin, and glyburate, okay, twice a day, very powerful doses. My sugar was on the average of 250 to 275, okay? Normal is 120. We're actually 100 now. They changed it. It was 120, now it's 100, okay? Good numbers, right? I don't think so. And did that add to my stress? Yeah, my body was all out of whack. So imagine that, 50 pounds heavier and a blood sugar between 250 to 275. Okay? They helped me out. They told me about things to eat, supplements to take. And in my first week, I stopped doing insulin. My second week, I stopped the glyburate. My third week, I would have quit the metformin, except the metformin is good for cancer. So I kept taking that. You know, metformin has a lot of good properties. It really does. Most people don't know about that. But it has some really good things, really good factors. Now, what do you think happened to my stress? It went from here down. Why? I became healthier. Health is very, very, very important in stress. And if you want to know about health, they're the ones to talk to,
Yeah,
not me.
yeah, but it took us close to 15 years to get him on track because he wouldn't listen. Right, Eddie?
Yeah.
Be on,
I wouldn't listen.
he wouldn't.
Yeah.
Because we do know him about 15 years,
Yeah.
and we could see the spiraling down. And so when he came with all these,
I was crashing and burning. I really was. I mean, it was, you know, I was in bad shape. I was in poor shape. I am now, with stage 4 colon cancer, the healthiest I've been in years. Yeah, I love it. It's being able to be excited and to do things, physically do things. For a while, I mean, they know I couldn't do anything. You know, I was in and out of the hospital constantly until I got that under control. Yeah. The mindset was beautiful. The mindset helped with a lot of things, but it's only a portion of it. De-stressing is more than just one thing. De-stressing is a multitude of things. Like, obviously, I've only got 3 hours to talk here, so I can't talk about everything. You know, how many of you just went, 3 hours? What? It's another little subtle thing of stress. You know, stress isn't always something that smashes you in the face and says, hey, here I am, I'm stressed. It's the little things in life that build up. It's the wrinkled t-shirts. Or, sorry, wrinkled, yeah. Yeah, it doesn't look bad, right? It was more in my mind than anybody else's mind until I brought it up. So I thought I could bring it up. Get a laugh. Get a smile. Let people know that I know. And it's okay. It's okay. And I know that a lot of times, as soon as we walk out the door, we get hit with something. Sometimes we don't even get out of bed and get a phone call. And there's the stress. It says, hello, how you doing? I'm here. Now, is that a great way to start out the day? Stressed? Anybody have an idea how you can break that?
Smile and laugh.
Smile and laugh. I love that. Give him a big round of applause.
Tell them about Smile and Wave Project.
I will. I'll get into that in a minute, but my intention wasn't to talk about that, but since you brought it up, I'll go ahead. Is that okay? Okay. My intention right now, at this moment, is to give you a little tool that you can use. Now, you know I'm weird, right? So you know the tool I'm going to give you is weird, right? Okay, and it might be over the top for some of you. It might be. Some of you, it might be right up your alley. But here's the thing. In the morning, when you get up, the first person you see might be your wife, your husband, the dog, the cat, your grandmother. I don't know. It might be that you turn on the tube and you watch the Anchorman. That might be the first person you see in the morning. But at some point, you go into the bathroom and you start getting ready for the day, right? Has anybody ever done that? Or do you just run straight out of the house? Yeah, I don't think most people don't do that, right? So, when you get in front of that mirror, what do? Brush your teeth, wash your hair, you shave, you do whatever, right? Do you ever say hello to the person that's in the mirror? Do you ever do that? I do. It's something that I learned that really uplifts you, really helps you out. And it's funny because it feels so weird. Even to me, it feels weird. It's like, I'm saying hello to this guy. I know him. I've seen him before. But the funny thing is that everybody else that we see, we usually say hi. Unless it's one of those mornings when you wake up and you get a phone call and you kind of growl at people. But I guarantee you that if you do this, even if you get that phone call in the morning while you're still in bed, it's going to change your day. So what do? Now here's what you do if you're me. I look in the mirror and I say, Eddie! How you doing, man? It is so awesome to see you. This is so great. Oh, dude, without you, man, life would just stink. That's what I do. You can start a little easier than that. You know, just say, hey, how you doing? Recognize yourself. Most people don't recognize themselves. And there's some people that they don't recognize themselves so much that they have to get other people to recognize them. And they fish for compliments. Guess who used to do that? Me. I used to do that. Because I had no self-confidence. Do you know my worst fear? Public speaking. Public speaking. Now, you said to mention the Smile and Wave Project.
Yeah, that's because he came up with Smile and Laugh. What did you say? Smile and, to one of his questions, he said smile and something.
Yeah,
And,
yeah, he did.
And then,
Yeah.
yeah, you should say, tell him about Smile and Wave, and then we're
Yeah.
gonna have to kind of,
Yeah, she's got to cut me short because I will keep talking.
you don't know Eddie, he could keep us here for hours.
I can't.
But you have to hear about Smile and Wave.
Okay.
And unfortunately, his very first meeting, I was in Brazil and I couldn't go.
Yeah.
And it was, David went though.
Yeah, David went. Yeah, that was Happiness in the Park.
Happiness in the Park.
Happiness in the Park.
But
Yeah.
which was a
We
shoot off of Smile and Wave, isn't it?
Yes, yeah. The Smile and Wave Project is a core company. I've got 10 million smiles. I've got, I just forget it. I'm not going to go through all of them. But Smile and Wave is the core. The Smile and Wave Project. Because everything's a project, right? Our life is a project. So one of the things that I did while I was creating all of this stuff, and I'm going to tell them about the rabbit.
Oh, the rabbit. I wish
Yeah.
you should have come in the rabbit suit.
Maybe one day I will.
I'm telling you,
Okay.
Eddie is
He's a strange fellow.
he's
That's what I was
so,
gonna say.
Eddie
And he's a
is
strange
no,
guy.
he's special. Eddie's very special.
I am very special. Yes, they have a hospital for me, but I won't go. So, okay, I had this fear of public speaking. My fear of public speaking was so bad that I couldn't even speak on the radio. You can't see the person on the radio. But, you know, if I called into the radio station one time, I was in Tennessee, I called in and I was trying to sell some property. And, the radio guy goes, hey, what can we help you with? What do you have for sale today? Because it was a sales show. Acreage. The guy's like, what? Never mind. I hung up the phone. I couldn't speak. Couldn't say anything. My wife got me one time, and she had me speak in front of the church. I had to say 4 words. I studied these 4 words for 2 weeks, so I would remember them. So she gave me the Bible when it was my turn. She gave me the Bible to say these 4 words. I looked at the Bible and I went, I didn't know my wife could read Chinese. That's what it looked like, Chinese. So I studied this for 2 weeks. I know I can get this. And I went through my brain. I went, and then I froze. And I just looked at the Bible. My wife comes over, she grabs the Bible, and I'm not religious, by the way. She tries to pull it out of my hand. I won't let go. It's what I call white knuckle speaking. I was holding on so tight, my knuckles were white. She yanks the Bible out of my hands. She says, my part, finishes her part. She says, let's go. What do? I just stood. I couldn't do a thing. So she finally literally had to drag me off stage, and I wouldn't talk to anybody in the church for a month. That's how bad my fear was. So I knew I had to break it to become a speaker. So I had taken 2 workshops, T. Harv Eker. I spent about $8,000, with all the flights and the food and the workshops and stuff like that, to break my fear. Guess what? It didn't work. But one of the things I had to do in the workshop is I had to sing in front of 350 people, wearing something that would never be caught dead in the butt. Just a rabbit suit. But, you could see my face. Full rabbit suit, pink little tail, and the little pink ears on the inside and stuff like this. I didn't want to be caught dead in that thing. So one day I'm sitting there and I'm going, how am I going to speak? And I told my wife, I says, I can't do this. I said, what am I going to do? Out of the corner of my eye, I saw the rabbit suit. And I said, oh, I'm going to put on the rabbit suit. And I'm going to go out to groups of people and I'm going to go, hey, my name's Eddie Rodriguez, how you doing? Yeah, that's just stupid. So I said, you know what? I can't read in front of people either. So I'm going to take the rabbit suit and I'm going to take one of my poems. I'm an amateur poet. I'm going to take one of my poems and I'm going to read it to people. So that's what I did. I started going around. First place I went to was a bar. 4 drunk guys out in the parking lot. I walk up in my rabbit suit. Hey guys, you mind if I read you a poem? I didn't know if they were going to kick my butt or let me read the poem. They let me read the poem. They applauded me, and I just kept going from there, and now here I am. Now I know my time is limited, so I've got to go, but I would like to do something, and I would like to read you guys a poem. It's not really a poem, but it's something that I wrote a few months ago. Is that okay?
Yep.
Okay. It's called You Are Beautiful. You are beautiful, and you make a difference in this world. No matter who you are, no matter what you do, there are people in this world who look up to you, people who love you and care about your well-being. A piece of their heart shines in your heart. A piece of their soul shines in your soul. A part of their energy radiates in your world, and you may not even be aware of it. Live each moment as if it's a building block to the incredible life that you deserve. Find the good in life and use it as your guide for a better future. Accept the bad as a teacher to bring you through tough times. Use your smile to engage and transform your heart into a superconductor of happiness and joy. May you live, love, and create the life of your dreams.
Beautiful.
Thank you, everybody.